Thank you for coming out today. The story that I have planned is called A Spider's Promise. And it is going to be, we have a special guest today. It is going to be narrated by our very own Sir Winston. He said, Sir Winston, thank you again for coming out today.
Yay!
He's going to sit up there so we can kind of keep an eye out and make sure I'm not going to get attacked or anything. But let me get the show going.
Now, thank you all for coming out today. Now, shall we get on this story? Now, once upon a time, in a kingdom very far, far away, there lived a queen who was very concerned that her son, the prince, wouldn't find a good woman to marry. She was convinced that if her son were left to his own decision, that he would make a poor choice. So, she proposed a trial for each of the young women that the prince showed interest in. The winner now would get her son in marriage. Now the queen wanted a clever and hard-working wife for her son, someone who already knew a useful trade, not just an empty, pretty face. In that same kingdom lived a merchant who wanted his daughter to be the choice for the prince's wife. His daughter, Sophia, was already a friend of the prince, and the merchant thought of all the wealth that he would give if his daughter became part of the royal family. The merchant brought the girl to the castle and ordered her to take the queen's trial. Sophia, she was ushered into a bare attic room and told that she must weave the most beautiful and finest silk thread into material that could be used for the wedding dress. All of this had to be done in a single day's time. As Sophia sat in the room, she cried to herself, looking around the bare room, and she saw only a single spider weaving a web in the corner of the room. I should clean the corner and get rid of that spider. But before she could grab a cloth and dust away the spider, she heard the spider speak out to her. If you spare my life and leave me in my little corner, I will reward you by helping you spin and weave the finest silk cloth that you have ever seen or felt. Why, thank you, spider, for that offer. I will gladly spare your life. Together, the spider and Sophia worked the whole day and into the night, and by the next day the material was completed. Sophia took the cloth to the queen for her inspection. Although the queen was very pleased with this lovely material, she was not through with her test of Sophia. This time, she set Sophia to a second test. She was to make the material for the queen's dress for this wedding. It had to be the finest silk, as fine as the wedding dress material that she had already woven. This too had to be completed in a single day. So Sophia once again went back to the attic, and she started to cry. How will I ever weave more material for the queen's dress? I can't help but hear you crying. Wasn't the queen not pleased with the material that we wove? Well, yes, she was pleased, but so pleased that now I have to weave more material. It is for the queen's dress, and it must be of the finest silk, as fine as the material we have already woven.
How am I going to do this all over again? Well, if you make me a promise, I will help you once again. You must allow me and my descendants to live in peace in a corner of your home, wherever that home is. Do you promise? Yes, I will gladly promise you that if you help me. I will always allow you to have your own corner to live in undisturbed. Well, then let's get to work. The two set to weave the most beautiful silk fabric, even more soft and light than the material it had for the wedding dress. When the queen saw this material, she was so surprised and pleased, but she had one final trial for the girl to pass. This time, Sophia was to embroider the most intricate stitches the material in the bodies of both dresses. The embroidery must be finished in a single night. So Sophia went back up to the attic once again. Oh, what shall I do? First the material had to be woven and it must be embroidered. I have never embroidered anything as delicate. What if I ruin it? Well, perhaps you don't realize that I am an artist in embroidery. No one can match your fine and intricate stitches as we spiders can make. This time, however, I have one more promise to extract from you. You must name your firstborn daughter after me, the lovely spider. I want my name to be known and honored in the kingdom. Will you promise that? Yes, if I must. Please, let's get started on the embroidery. One more thing. If you don't name your child after me, I will be forced to bite the baby and to poison her, just to be sure that you keep your word to me. And so, Sophia and the spider embroidered both pieces of material with the beautiful, intricate patterns and designs. When Sophia took the material with the lovely embroidery to the queen was amazed at its beauty. She finally gave Sophia her blessing to be married the next day to the prince. Sophia and her prince had a wonderful marriage, and for the first year, they were very happy together. Sophia learned in the next year, however, that she was expecting their first child. Now Sophia had almost forgotten about her promise to the spider, until the queen asked that the baby be named after her, Caroline, if the child was a girl. Oh, what will I do now? I can't name my baby girl Spider. The queen would never permit that. No, that would never do. Now, unfortunately, Sophia was a young lady who loved to read, particularly books about mythology. She remembered a myth about the most famous Greek weavers by the name of Arachne, or spider in Greek. In a few weeks, Sophia had a beautiful baby girl. Well, I have come to learn that the name of your new baby, will you call her Spider after me as you promised? I will keep my promise. Our baby girl's name will be Caroline Arachne. You know what? That is a very lovely name, very classy in Greek. Thank you for keeping your word. From that point on, Sophia kept all of her promises to the spider. She made sure that no one ever killed spiders in the kingdom. She also made sure that no one ever disturbed spiders in the corner of the palace. The spiders in the kingdom made the child Caroline Arachne the most beautiful silk embroidery baby dresses of all. After a while, Sophia gave her baby girl a new nickname. After all, Caroline Arachne was a mouthful to say. Her new nickname was, as you'd guessed it, Spider.
Yay!
Did you like it? Yeah.
Thank you, thank you. And thank you, Sir Winston, for narrating this beautiful play.
Say thank you, Winston.
Thank you, Winston.